Cryptocurrency, what cryptocurrency is, and how we can change the world by using cryptocurrency. OneAcademy. Learn today, lead tomorrow.
Greetings all. Good day and good evening
Thoroughly.
to everyone.
How to use cryptocurrency, what cryptocurrency is, and how.
Sorry about that, guys. So greetings to all. Good day and good evening to everyone from the Caribbean and the rest of the world. Welcome to our OneAcademy Zoom call. We certainly appreciate you being on the call with us. And my name is Lisa Greene. I am from the beautiful island of Barbados, and I will be your host today. Let me give you a reminder of why we are here. Our founder, Dr. Ruja Ignatova, has said that we learn today to lead tomorrow. You may ask, what is OneAcademy? And OneAcademy is an innovative e-learning platform covering a broad range of topics, including financial areas such as financial analysts, asset management, Forex, the stock exchange, cryptocurrency, and more. Our mission is to provide our students with the guidance and educational materials needed to achieve financial literacy. OneAcademy was developed by finance experts and academics. It is highly structured and easy to understand. You learn at your own pace. You can be a part of the future global financial reset. Our intention is to give you a unique sense of understanding and facts which you can use to enhance your knowledge and daily lives, as well as to promote our core product, OneAcademy, the benefits of our ecosystem. I encourage you to take copious notes to assist you in your quest to become certified, knowledgeable, wise business leaders and money managers. So today is Freedom Friday, and we are going to give you access to your survival kit for the storm as the high winds have already begun to blow. Here in the Caribbean, we have just started our hurricane season, but as it relates to the global financial storms, we already are in the aftermath of one of the greatest storms. I'm talking about the Hurricane COVID-19. No country, island, or state has been left untouched. So our presenter today in this lunch and learn session will share with you that storm preparedness plan to keep you and your future generations in the bunker for as long as needed when this plan is applied. So without any further ado, let me introduce you to our presenter, Mr. Cliffe Samlalsingh from the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. So Cliffe is married and the father of 3 children. He came to the One Life business at the end of July 2016. He's currently at the rank of Emerald, and Cliffe has been at one time involved in the financial sector, including the banking and credit union fraternities. His evaluation and later involvement in this business came through this background. Because of this business opportunity, he has experienced a lot of firsts in his life. For instance, traveling to Panama, and as well as the Vietnam trip that he took, as well as staying in hotels. So Cliffe, please share with us your action plan for us to be better prepared. Cliffe, this call is over to you.
Unmute. Okay, good afternoon. Oh, good morning, good day, good night to wherever you are. Thank you very much, Lisa, for such a lovely welcome. You know, it's really nice. And thanks, guys, for being out there. I want to, as Lisa says, I want to make mention of what I have to present is against my background of being in finance and, of course, my near 4 years experience in One Life. All right, allow me to share my screen, please. No, yes, no. Awesome. So, all right. So against that background, which Lisa introduced me, I must first of all lay my disclaimer in that the information contained herein and dispensed is not designed to be a source of financial information, nor should it be construed as such. One Life is not an investment company, and the images and videos in this presentation are the property of their respective owners. So the information I'm sharing with you, as I said, is as a result of my experience in the financial arena and my near 4 years experience with this network. So this video amplifies what I am going to speak about this day. Take a listen, please.
Everybody thinks the US dollar is still as good as gold, and it hasn't been since 1971. This is the world monetary systems. From 1873, when Germany went on the classical gold standard, where each unit of currency is backed up by an equivalent amount of gold in the treasury. In the United States, $20 bill, $20 gold piece in the vaults. Go into any bank, slap down your currency, which was a receipt for money, a claim check on money, ask for your money, gold and silver, and they would give it to you. So this shows, this is currency, this is money. Otherwise, there was no reason for any government to store gold in their vaults and then print this currency that was backed by gold. This is what gives confidence in that, and it gives governments the ability to start this scam in the first place, where they print these receipts for gold, and then they can print more of them than gold that exists. And that happened when we got to World War I, and all the combatants stopped redemption rights. You could no longer go in the bank and trade your pounds, lira, marks, francs, no longer redeemable in gold, and they lit up the printing presses and started printing like crazy. Then between the wars, they went on something called the gold exchange standard, where currencies would be backed partially by gold. So in the United States, under the Federal Reserve Act of 1913, the Federal Reserve was allowed to put $50 worth of claim checks on gold, currency in circulation, backed up by only $20 worth of gold. So it was a 40% reserve ratio. For every $20 gold piece in the vault, they could put $50 in circulation.
We're the dollars of the nation on parade. We're the biggest batch of dollars ever made. Oh, we used to march by millions, but now we march by billions, and maybe we'll be trillions for your dead. We're the dollars.
Then we get to 1944. Now, during both wars, Europe paid the U.S. with gold. During World War I, the U.S. didn't get into the war until the very end of it. We didn't really have troops on the ground here in any quantity until the last 6 months of the war. So for the first 4 years or so, we're selling you all of, you take all of your young men off of the farms and turn them into soldiers. You take your factories that make toasters and they start making machine guns. Your factories that made cars are now building tanks. And so you turn your economy toward war, and all of your consumer goods and your grains had to be imported from the United States, and you paid us with gold. Then in World War II, Hitler starts saber rattling in 1936, annexes Austria in 38, invades Poland in 39. Pearl Harbor wasn't until the end of 1941. We didn't have troops on the ground until, I believe, August of 42. So again, there's like 6 years where you're paying us with your gold and we're selling you stuff. This is where Americans have this myth that war is good for the economy. War is good for the economy if you're not in it and you're selling them the tools of the trade.
Yes, America's national income gets bigger and bigger. In 1943, it was $142 billion. That was double the 1939 figure, triple the figure for 1933.
But by the end of World War II, the U.S. had 2/3 of all the world's monetary gold, the central bank gold, and the rest of the world had to share the other third, and Europe had none. So the world monetary system was no longer going to work. It would collapse. But we had made all these loans of dollars to Europe, so Europe was flooded with dollars. And so representatives from around the world met at Bretton Woods, New Hampshire in 1944. They came up with a new world monetary system called the Bretton Woods system, where every currency on the planet, with the exception of just a few, they would be backed by the US dollar, and the US dollar would then be backed by gold at $35 per ounce, This gave confidence to all currencies. So this gave the world stability, and it pegged all the world's currencies to each other through the dollar to gold. So there was no such thing as the Forex. Currencies didn't float. The exchange rates were fixed year after year, and this helped to make world trade boom. Then the dollar standard starts because we kept on printing dollars. Under the Bretton Woods system, there was no reserve ratio established where the US actually had to have a certain amount of gold for how many dollars we created. So we had done a bunch of deficit spending for Korea, for Vietnam, for Johnson's Great Society, and expanded the currency supply, the amount of paper dollars in circulation, and exported them all over the world. And then in the 60s, Charles de Gaulle, president of France, realizes that we don't have the gold to back up the dollars.
Le fait que beaucoup d'États acceptent par principe des dollars au même titre que de l'or entraîne les Américains à s'endetter et à s'endetter gratuitement vis-à-vis de l'étranger, car ce qu'ils lui doivent, ils le lui payent avec des dollars qu'il ne tient qu'à eux d'émettre. Nous estimons nécessaire que les échanges internationaux soient établis comme c'était le cas avant les grands malheurs du monde, sur une base monétaire indiscutable et qui ne porte la marque d'aucun pays en particulier. Quelle base? En vérité, on ne voit pas qu'il puisse y avoir réellement de critères, d'étalons autres que l'or.
And he starts asking, France asks for their gold and trades in the dollars. And at that point, other countries saw this and start jumping on board. And the US lost 50% of its gold from 1959 to 1971. But we still had, in 71, about 12 times more dollars that we had created than there was gold. And this run on the bank, basically, the US now being the bank, this is a giant worldwide bank run, because the US, for the second time, had committed a fraud and created more receipts for gold than there was gold. It's that simple. And then finally, the markets sort of sensed this. And Nixon was forced to take us off the gold standard, because if he had paid out gold until it got to zero, once we couldn't pay on some of those dollars, the entire worldwide monetary system would have collapsed.
I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold or other reserve assets, except in amounts and conditions determined to be in the interest of monetary stability and in the best interest of the United States. In full cooperation with the International Monetary Fund and those who trade with us, we will press for the necessary reforms to set up an urgently needed new international monetary system.
And on August 15th, 1971, all the world's currencies became fiat currency. I don't know why the rest of the world didn't rush out and hang him, but they didn't. They just all went along with this.
To our friends abroad, I give this assurance. The United States has always been and will continue to be a forward-looking and trustworthy trading partner.
There have been thousands upon thousands upon thousands of fiat currencies throughout history, and there isn't one that survived. It is a 100% failure rate. And we started this experiment where all the world's currencies would be fiat currencies simultaneously in 1971. But what we have here, 30 to 40 years, different monetary system, 30 years, 28 years, 39 years plus, what's next? The world is going to have a new monetary system in this decade that we're in. We're going to experience this huge deflationary crash around the world. The world will probably end up on some sort of new monetary system, probably after governments try and print their way out of this and cause hyperinflations of all the currencies, and people will just lose confidence in currency. And what do they always go back to?
All right, guys, so we heard Mr. Mike Maloney talk just now, and he may have come across as a prophet of doom and gloom, because you would have heard certain things like, for instance, he said, based on financial statistics, this currency is going to crash. He pointed out several pieces of evidence as to why he is saying that. All right. This is the world we presently exist in, whereby the rich feeds us, we give back to the rich and fatten them up. The challenge, though, is that what I have seen is that the reason why the majority of the world, and that includes almost all of us, you see, some of you guys might say, but I am not poor. Yes, you're going to see why I'm saying that we are poor. Most of us are poor because of what I learned, but I did not apply when I used to go to Bible school when I was the age of 10. Most of us learned it. There was a line in that good book, the Bible, where it says, the debtor is slave to the lender. Sure, most of us would have remembered that line. I didn't understand it, but what it teaches us is that once you have a loan over your head or a debt over your head, you now either become a slave to the person who implemented that or the system under which you are working. Why? You are always going to be paying back to service that loan. And this is why we are in the position where we are now in this world. In fact, don't feel too bad if you are in that position, because the majority of the world is in that position. Let me just show you a snapshot of what's happening in the US. This is their debt position right now. Take a look. Right? You're going to see where it's $26 trillion, and notice it's just counting up every second. It's just climbing. That shows how many more slaves are coming on, or how deeper into slavery we are going. In the top left-hand corner, you see U.S. national debt. Well, it's now at $26 trillion. In January of this year, it started off at about 22 trillion. Yeah, so in a matter of 4 months, it has climbed by $4 trillion. But not only the US is like that, the whole world is going crazy. The global debt situation in the world in 2018 was $188 trillion. That is debt. However, at this point in time, the debt situation around the world reads close to $270 trillion. Wow. If you find that is worse or that is bad, you know what is even worse? Our economy is supposed to be pegged to our productivity. Our productivity is reflected when we produce goods and services. They have statistics for that too. Our productivity, which is referred to as our GDP, our global GDP around the world. Remember I tell you, the debt situation right now is about $270 trillion. Our GDP is $81 trillion. So it means now, you see that you have more than 300% in excess of GDP to loan, and we keep climbing. In fact, added to all of that, there's an economic law or term called the Pareto scale, which says that 80% of the world's population only get to enjoy 20% of the benefits of our productivity. However, our productivity is what they use to provide loans against. So really, 80% of the world's population is scrambling to enjoy the 20% of the benefits from the global debt that we have accumulated. Also, on the converse side, it suggests that the 20% of the world's population get to rock back and enjoy 80% of the world's debt benefits. I want to ask you before I continue, do you consider yourself to be in the 80% scrambling for this 20% benefit, or you are in the one of the more privileged bracket? I certainly don't like to boast about it, but I have to let reality give me a check. I am in the 80%, scrambling for this 20% benefits. I made a decision 4 years ago, something had to give, something had to change. So there are other parties who are seen it the same way too. Yeah. For instance, you have Visa, everybody knows that, Visa cards. they also are aware that this paper money system is going to implode because you can't continue having a debt situation just swelling, swelling. Something has to give. So Visa is aware that, listen, they have to change their monetary system. So what they are doing, they are providing a blockchain digital dollar. Not only Visa, many other companies. You can do your research. Imagine China and several other countries are saying, listen, they also now have to go by way of a digital currency. They're going to challenge the US dollar. Why? The US dollar is also going via digital currency. But you now have to make a decision. You are at a crossroads because you now have to decide, do I go along with these other parties who saying, let's go digital currency? Remember, these are the ones who created the problem in the first place, and they are now going to offer a solution using their same strategies, just changing the format in which it will be presented, moving away from paper to digits, but with the same strategy? Or do you come on board with us who are saying we have a blockchain based cryptocurrency? So your decision is that, do you decide to go via digital currency or our blockchain based cryptocurrency? The first timers here are going to say, but I didn't know there's a difference. Awesome. That is what we're here for. That is why we said, listen, come on, take a listen to what we have to offer. We don't want to be just like other students in the past. I know of many persons, I was one of them, who went and studied after you left secondary school to get to advance in your knowledge so that you could apply it to your job, so that you could become prosperous. How many of us could look back and say that plan has worked? Most of us continue to work to pay the bills, put it in a try to save a little bit in a plan whereby inflationary measures will come and eat away at that plan. Most of us do not become prosperous. I am here to talk to you today about the plan that we put in place that is likely, if all goes according to plan, that you can become prosperous. It is not just knowledge, it is about becoming prosperous with that knowledge. I talk this way because I like figures. I believe figures provide a yardstick as to where you're going, and figures quantify what your efforts are. So I hope you could follow me because I'm going to talk some figures just now. The name of this company who has opened up my eyes is One Life. The company was born almost 6 years ago. I came on board 2 years after they were born, so I am here almost 4 years now. This company is the only cryptocurrency in almost 6,000 cryptocurrencies who have said that they are using an education-based concept to get this knowledge across to you for you to have a better understanding as to how you will become prosperous. The areas that they provide knowledge in is in finance, in forex, in law, and in a couple of months' time, they're going to provide new information in blockchain-based operations. Right? You decide when you come on board which of these areas you would like to subscribe to understand better. I'm not going into detail about the syllabus. You are going to decide which area you think you would like to start with. I would like to suggest to everyone here, whether you are coming on board or you are already here, please access information in all areas, because knowledge, applied knowledge is power. From this, we're going to talk some figures, as I said. We have our own cryptocurrency called Ones, whereby in 2015, it started off as a rate of half of a euro or 50 cents euro, if that helps you to understand it even better. We are now over 42 euros in value, our cryptocurrency. Why? Our community spans over 190 countries. We have over 3.7 million persons who have decided to subscribe to this concept. What does this tell me? It tells me that in a little over 5 years, through confidence and ready usability, the value of my cryptocurrency has grown by, listen to this, over 8,400%. Yeah, from half of a euro to this figure suggests that we have grown by over 8,400%. Mad, eh? Guess what? What's even more mad? We only just started. We haven't even begun to gallop as yet. We haven't even broken out into a trot. And this is where we are. So this is where we are so far. Why? Our education is poised to help you to understand that you are coming on board where we have an ecosystem. And our ecosystem comes with components showing you how you would be a participant in our economic activity that we have on board, how you would benefit also. You see, this is our ecosystem. Our ecosystem, this is the world right now, which says that each citizen, as I told you before, has to work. And the fruits of their labor is what you call their GDP. You have quantified the GDP. The world statistics show it is about $81 trillion right now. However, only 20% of that GDP is enjoyed by 80% of us scrambling to get to pick up whatever crumbs we can get from that. That system can't work because they have taken the GDP and stretched it out in the form of debts. I've already told you where debts carry us. So they have put forward, the world at large has based currencies against that GDP and stretched it out. My One Life company has a cryptocurrency that is in over 190 countries, as I said. So we are already a country with a community that can do trade amongst ourselves. Some of you might say, who hearing this for the first time saying, but how come so many countries can share one currency? That is not hard. We in the Caribbean Sea, whereby some islands share one currency. So for instance, you have a Grenada, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, and similar countries sharing one currency called the EC dollar. Let me make mention to you, the Cook Islands. The Cook Islands are made up of about 15 different islands who agree to use the New Zealand dollar. You see, once there's an agreement by the persons that this is what we are going to use, it automatically becomes a currency. If you look at the Balkan Islands, for instance, those are countries, right? Different countries come together and agree. Even though they are independent nations, they agree to form to use a shared currency. So 3.7 million of us and growing have agreed that we are going to use a shared currency. So I hope this clears up your concept of how could 190 countries use a shared currency. It is already in evidence, all right? Our dilemma, and of those of you hearing this, going to now have to decide, how long do you continue to sit on the sidelines and wait for the solution to come to you? I am telling you that a solution is here to you this day. Look at something. This is New York. The CNN business has been commenting about the debt situation. In fact, one of their articles had been headlined as "The world is drowning in debt." You can go up and research that. If you look at the end of this article, they are saying that the debt to GDP ratio is at 322%. Yeah, so you see, guys, Cliffe Samlalsingh wasn't just throwing out figures here for you. It is there. And you know something? This is at the beginning of this year. This was before the COVID-19, when other countries, just like the States, decided the only way to bail out of this situation is to print more money, like the US. The US has gone on record to say they are going to put in over $6 trillion for this. But that is not the only thing. In the meantime, the GDP has fallen because a lot of people now are unemployed or underemployed during this period. So the debt to GDP has stretched much more than 322%. And you wonder why I am telling you, and Mike Maloney is telling you, and the different parties are saying that this system is going to implode. We cannot continue with business as usual. You now have an option. I am offering you One Life as an ecosystem, which we are putting out to you. I'm going to share with you how you are going to become prosperous by participating in this ecosystem, because you already are a member of this world that we're in, and you already exist in their ecosystem. So according to my friend Michelle Mark, I'm going to show you how our ecosystem, which is part of a tale of two economies, has a bright future. Let me show you why. Follow the figures, guys. I'm going to walk you through this now with my voice. So follow what I'm saying, please. Before we go there, understand that my ecosystem aims to create a whole number of aspects. Because in the interest of time, I'm only going to talk about the first one, which is my ecosystem is a world without inflation and interest on loans. Imagine that you are going to participate, whereby you are going to be a participant in an ecosystem whereby you are going to enjoy not 20% benefits like in the original ecosystem that we're in, but 100% benefits. That is awesome. You're going to take your energy and your resources in this ecosystem and maximize it, and it's going to be amplified. How is this going to happen? It's going to bring prosperity to you. Let me share with you. You are currently on a Titanic that is going to reach $300 trillion. Based on the rate at which we were at, I can tell you that is coming in about a year or so. Why I say that? In 2018, the world debt situation was reading $188 trillion. In a little over a year, the world debt situation is reading near $270 trillion. How long again you feel it will take us to reach $30 trillion? How long again do you feel that this balloon of debts can continue to stretch? How long you feel it's going to hold together without exploding? Or I prefer to use the word imploding. I am saying, I am on a One Life vessel right now. I am on a One Life lifeboat approaching you guys on the Titanic, where you're in a debt situation. We're going to 300 trillion and probably blow past that. Who knows? Before implosion takes place, I don't know what the figure it would be. It will happen. A number of the experts have already forecasted that. Why don't you divest some of that cash that you have there? Buy some of our education that we have to understand how our ecosystem will work. Get on board though while your money still has some little value, whilst the inflationary measures that they tell us that they have concocted to hide the real reason as to why the value of your money is falling. Why not take some of that money where the value is falling, purchase at least a package in our system, and understand this. We have a blockchain. Let's suppose, I'm throwing out figures now, guys, follow me, please. Let's suppose the debt situation has reached $300 trillion. And at that point, because we have reached a number of the persons, you guys have said, listen, hey, this message just makes sense. You have gone and extended the service to other persons. You get them to understand this. They come on board. Let's suppose by all the persons who will now form our increased community, our blockchain has produced, let's say, 200 billion coins amongst us to use. We already have coins that work. We already have coins that are usable in 190 countries. But let's suppose we have now an increased community because the debt situation has imploded at $300 trillion. Let's suppose we were only able to rescue persons of quantifying a figure of $100 trillion. So we're only able to rescue 1/3 of that figure. So we now were able to help absorb $100 trillion of that debt into our new ecosystem. Luckily, you took the calculated risk and you came on board. You know what that means? That means that $100 trillion, which is now part of our resources that forms our ecosystem, is utilizing 200 billion coins. If you were to do the maths in that, $100 trillion divided by 200 billion coins now means that your coin had a value at that point of $500. So it means that you took a look at this opportunity today when I'm talking, when the value of the coin is a little over 42 euros. I think that is about 46 US dollars. And because you decided, listen, it just makes sense what these people are saying. I am going to just position myself in this ark of safety called the One Life lifeboat. You can easily see where your coin going to have a value at that time once everything goes, as I said, of 500 US dollars. And you know why that is so easy to understand? Remember, when you come on board, your GDP, whichever country you're in, is reflected in the value of the coin, the same as mine. So the value of my coin carries the same value of your one coin wherever you are in the world. So we carry the same value. No nonsense like what we have presently, where you have hard-working people in Vietnam working hard, and then their productivity, their GDP tells them, hey, here what's going on now. I know how hard you're working, but your dollar value says that you need to earn over 20,000 of your dollars to be ranked alongside $1 US. It is the same thing happening all over the African continent, even though they provide most of the resources that the world's use. It is skewed, it does not make sense. That's why I'm saying only 20% of the benefits are enjoyed. Why? Because the benefits are skewed. You don't understand what I'm saying? Come on board, buy a package of education to understand. You want to know now why the education is so important? Come on board, buy these levels. I'm going it over again so that you can understand the education makes you poised so you can understand how our ecosystem, how you're going to participate in our ecosystem, how you're going to maximize the benefits to be derived from the ecosystem. But most importantly, talk to any wealthy person. You know what they'll tell you? The great difficulty is not in achieving the wealth, The greater difficulty is holding on to that wealth and protecting your wealth. Guys, our education in our ecosystem is going to show you how you're going to protect this wealth. You come on board now. By you coming on board and understanding this, you have no other choice but to reach out and share with persons. Why? Because I can't believe you're going to be part of this lifeboat and watch the Titanic persons on those Titanic who you consider to be your loved ones and not extend a hand to them. Guys, we are poised to just go places and to rescue people, but not everybody's going to listen. I want to thank you for being the part of this small group who has decided to listen. And I know in a short space of time, because of where the world is heading, you are going to be a greater group. I want to thank you for listening. And I am going to pass back over now to our merchant of the day. However, it is my esteemed privilege to let you know that our merchant of the day happens to be our host, our Lisa Greene. Yeah, Lisa is an educator by profession, and she has over 15 years in the teaching service. She also has given another 17 years in the hotel or the construction industry, where she is currently stationed. Hear this, Lisa has taken time to complete all levels of the OneAcademy Finance. She's a bright girl. And she has done so, also completing the beginner's course in our Forex trading. Lisa joined the One Life Network in 2017, and she joined our Deal Shaker platform as a merchant in 2018. I remember when she attended our inaugural Deal Shaker Expo held in July in 2018. And that was held in Trinidad and Tobago. Thus, she had represented both the One Life Network and her native island of Barbados with distinction. Lisa is the owner of Lina Lisa Variety Store, and I now have the pleasure of passing the mic back to her to share her experience as a merchant in that melodious yet commanding voice of hers. Lisa, take it over. Thank you very much, guys.
Well, thank you, Cliff. Thank you, Cliff. And I've got my preparedness kit already. And there are only two things that I need: that finance introduction education from the OneAcademy, and then that digital currency that will buy everything that I need from our ecosystem. Wow, thank you, Cliff. This is a very exciting time for us, especially with the rejuvenation of the vision and the revitalization of our company and its ecosystem. We as leaders are thinking and planning more strategically to give members usability in our perspective or respective markets. And Barbados is not to be left out, because we will rise and rise strong, because we are trying to attract merchants who are willing to give our members the products and services that they need. So we've awakened our sleeper community, and we have activated them as well, and have taken up the challenge set by our co-captains, Diamonds Michelle and Ivan Mark, as well as our captain Blue Diamond King James, because we need to utilize this OneAcademy information. And as you said, knowledge when applied is power. And we are utilizing this knowledge that we have gleaned to actually build our community. So one of those pieces of the pie that you mentioned to that ecosystem is the Deal Shaker platform. And I want to share with everyone a couple deals from my store, and I want you to be prepared, because there are going to be other deals coming from the Barbadian market currently, because we're going to lead by example, and our leaders here are definitely up for the challenge. So I just want to share my screen at this point, and I'm going to show you a couple of the deals that I currently have on the Deal Shaker platform. So I'm going to share my screen. Thank you. All right, so here is the screen. Let's go from here. And so as I said, we have deals that are available from Lina Lisa Variety Store. And those deals include the discount event planning services that I offer. And that basically gives persons an opportunity, if they want to have like parties or events planned and they don't have the time or the know-how to do it, we can help them in getting that done. And it is only for 4.721s. And there are a number of different venues that are available to have these events at different locations in the island. And we utilize these locations to give people, the opportunity to have a different feel or have a different vibe depending on the event that they are planning. And then we are going to take you on that Bayesian excursion for the visitors to the island, and the locals also take part in these excursions as well, because this excursion takes the visitor as well as the Barbadian on an excited guided tour of the island. And as you start your journey with the wind, passing through here, you just want to be carefree. And you take in all those beautiful sights of the Barbadian landscape. We take you to Harrison's Cave, and Harrison's Cave is an area in the heart of Barbados where we have those stalactites and stalagmites, and it's a very natural cave. All the stalactites, stalagmites, they're very very, very crystallized. It's almost as if you're seeing diamonds hanging from the ceiling. So that's an exciting place to be, as well as we take you down to our wildlife reserve and you go around the coast and see the beautiful scenery. So this is a very fantastic tour that persons take, whether you are a tourist or a Bajan alike. You can have fantastic time with this deal. Next, we have the deal of the one-day car rental, and that one-day car rental is from another One Life member, but he has given me the opportunity to share with you this deal because he is in another program, but he's still willing to provide this deal for us. And as I said, it's a one-day deal, and you can utilize this deal to actually go driving yourself and take advantage of the beautiful sights. Next, we have, this one is one that I expect do well on the platform, and this is the gasoline and diesel coupon, and it's all coins. You can purchase 50 Barbados dollars worth of gasoline or diesel for your vehicle, and you will have access to just going to the gas station and fill up. And some of our tanks may hold a little bit more than that, but for the person who would have been displaced in the COVID situation and just have a shortage of cash flow, never mind you don't have the cash, you have an asset, and that asset is the OneCoin cryptocurrency. And by utilizing your OneCoins, you can now fill your tank up with the gas deal. So it's either gas or diesel, and you have that opportunity to still get where you need to go and have gas in your tank. And the next deal I've got up is a grocery deal. So I would have started with you, Cliff, in terms of the hurricane preparedness. And this is something that can be utilized to get your hurricane kit together. So you can utilize these gift certificates, which are 100% coins as well. And these certificates are redeemable at the Price Mart here in Barbados. And you can purchase your non-perishable items like your sardines, your tuna, your corned beef, your flashlights, your batteries. And this has a value of 200 Barbados dollars, which is about 700 TT dollars in value. And, this is one that will definitely be in that box as, something that everyone will be taking part of as it comes on stream. So that is a couple of the items that I have in my my cart, as they say, for this Deal Shaker platform. And, we try to get merchants, as I said, on board who are going to provide the products and services that are needed in the community currently. So we'll be on purpose and try to attract those people to our ecosystem, because we are going to build and build strong. And in doing so, protect our heart, because this is the heart of our community, the OneAcademy. And I just loved when they named the team the heart, because the heart controls everything else in the body. And One Life is our heart. So it's our survival unit. And I just want to encourage everyone on the call today to continue. And as the picture you're seeing says, hold on to the vision and trust the process. And be back here again on Monday as we give you those tools that you need to become wise financial leaders in today's global economy. So I want to thank everyone for being on the call. Do you have anything else to add, Muriel, or any of the other panelists on the call? Do you have anything else to say before we close up for today?
That was a great call. I just want to invite people to thank you for your sharing. Was tremendous, both you and Cliff. I just want to remind and invite people to our Lunch and Learn on Monday, and also on Monday evening at 8 o'clock, our Empowering One Life presentation.
All right, so great. All right, so as Muriel said, just stay connected and join us on those Zoom calls on Monday again for the Lunch and Learn, and then the presentation on Monday. And you too will have that hurricane preparedness kit ready for the storm which we are in, and you will be in a safe place with us in the OneAcademy and the One Life opportunity. So thank you once again for being on the call, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much.